Hello, Gemini Sun Signs. So Geminis are so talkative that I'm not even sure they can watch this video because they're not going to be talking. At least they'd have to be talking while I'm talking. And we like it that way. They're mercurial. Mercurial is a great word to describe them because the word itself is based off of the planet Mercury, and they are ruled by the planet Mercury. Mercury is very fast-paced, it's witty, wanting to reach for new information constantly. A little bit like a nymph, wanted to create a little chaos here and there and just see what happens. Sometimes Geminis will do that. They will want to just put people to a test. They like to play games. I just imagine them like little sprites, like little elves flying around, like Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is definitely a Gemini. They might get an experiment that gets out of their control, but usually it's all in good fun. I had an amazing drama teacher that was a Gemini growing up. The whole community was drawn to her. She would absorb everybody's energy and be able to put on these amazing productions. A Gemini's greatest strength is that they become a center of fun and communication. Geminis are symbolized by the twins, and the twins are this duality that all of us have within ourselves. It's our two sides of our personality. A Gemini, usually they like to think that they are very flighty, very happy, buoyant, nothing gets them down. They're very heady because they're an air sign. But because they're this twin, there's a duality, there is this dark side to them that does come out. But when it does, often they don't realize that it's them. There's two people inside, and when one comes out, they don't realize it. They want to brush that one under the carpet. And this can also be for a Gemini moon too. Some Geminis, when they get dark, they just kind of want to lock themselves away for a little bit so that they don't have any damage out there in the world. But usually Geminis, their dark side isn't that dark. They just don't really know how to handle it because they are usually so happy. And so it just doesn't suit them. They don't know what to do with it. Something about sun signs being in air, and this would go for Aquarius, Libra, and also Gemini, is that they often have a harder time with their ego and their expression to the world because being an air sign, the sun is in its fall in Libra. But this effect goes on towards other air signs as well. And they have trouble finding themselves because they see others, they don't see themselves. All of air signs need a mirror to their true self. They run from it. That's part of the duality of the Gemini. Don't be afraid of digging in deeper. Sometimes we have to dig deeper. It's just part of life. And you can do it in a fun way through writing, through acting it out, through some kind of art. Often, Geminis are great writers or speakers or bloggers coming up with ideas. Figure yourself out through words. Words are king for Gemini. They love words. Geminis are usually people that learn an amazing vocabulary quicker than any other sign. They are the most communicative of all the signs. I have a Gemini friend and she's always playing word games. Anything involving words, she's all about it. Geminis and romance. Well, Geminis always have a great group of friends. Geminis are the quickest at being able to make friends and associations. Romance is harder for them because romance requires digging deeper. And Geminis are so used to being the first one to grab a hold of somebody and pull them in, but just pull everyone in. In romance, Geminis often are best suited with people that also don't really want to push into the depths of everything, like a Gemini and a Scorpio. So somebody that has a playful energy as well and enjoys your childlike, fun attitude about things. If you can find somebody who doesn't judge you for that, but they embrace it. If you're a Gemini woman, you have to have a man who is going to accept that you've got male friends, a lot of them, because that's who you are. Your group of friends, you probably can't even fit all of your friends onto your phone. Geminis are often the most popular. They are the type that they're going to win everybody over within the first 5 days of school. A Gemini knows everybody. If you need a publicist or someone to get the word out about something, it's a Gemini. And they're really great with memorization and they're quick. A Gemini is going to be able to talk very fast-paced and be able to follow your thoughts, no problem. A Gemini sign is mutable. Mutable signs are changeable, meaning that a mutable sign is a sign that is at the end of the season. So you're born towards the end of a season, whether it's fall or summer. This end of the season energy allows you to change, adapt to your environment. Geminis are very quick about adapting. They're not going to hold on to something as this baggage that they can't let go of. They'll often just get right back on their feet. Life to them is a series of experiments. And humans are great for the experiments because they're very interesting and they can't figure out why they do what they do. And so they're just constantly playing games. A Gemini's greatest desire is to be embraced by their culture and to be at the top of the social sphere. So they want to be accepted and rise to the top socially. Like for a social housewife, that would mean maybe she wants to be the president of the PTA. For a man that is in finance, maybe he's going to want to be the CEO of a bank. They're not so much wanting concrete evidence like monetary possessions and proof that they are the richest or, the most hardworking, but they want social acceptance. They're often driven towards the city because they want the largest group of people they can learn from, they can absorb the energy of, and they can be accepted by. That is the goal of every Gemini. And their energy is great as far as anything science related because their minds are constantly moving and they're constantly figuring out and problem solving. All right, so that's my bit about Gemini sun signs. Subscribe.